Hello my friends, I'm Rich Larson and I'm the IRC Tire Guy. Today I want to talk about the subject of seat time. Often I hear riders talk about the hundreds of hours they put on their bikes. They tell me in 6 months they rode 500 hours. Then they're surprised I haven't put half that time on mine. Although the question I have for the 500-hour rider is it 500 hours of progression? If I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. Going on rides is fun. But if fun is the goal, this video isn't for you. My saying is, I'm not having fun unless I'm miserable. Learning to love what I hate doing is something I've learned to love. Maybe that's my way of staying disciplined. In my opinion, there's no such thing as mastery, only the pursuit of mastery. So why not push yourself to everything you're capable of? In my past years of teaching, I've learned 99% of riders have the same bad habits and weaknesses. I actually teach the same lesson to the vast majority of riders. Often, I could put money on the average rider's inability to do basic techniques that, from the outside, seem so simple. This is because riders go on rides. They get seat time. But is it the right seat time? When we talk about the best way to progress, I always talk about deliberate training. Everyone has a circle of comfort. Learning to step just outside of that circle, exposing your weaknesses, then effectively widening that circle, making that weakness our strength. As an example of this, let's talk static balance. There are a few ways to practice static balance. We did an episode on practicing this in the garage, which you can check out right here. There's some great tips in that video that will help you learn this technique. Whenever I teach static balance, once the student is getting the hang of the center point, I always ask the question, of that entire sequence in getting to the static balance zone, what was the hardest part? The answer is usually coming up onto the pegs. So because that's the hardest part, I make you repeat coming up onto the pegs over and over. Once we find the balance point, it's somewhat easy. Getting there is the hard part. So with the repetition of coming up onto the pegs, we make the hardest part the easiest part. Let's make our weakness our strength. You can implement this style of deliberate training into any technique. Again, your comfort zone is probably getting seat time and going on the same ride, when you can actually get a better training session in the parking lot. Here's an example of exactly that. Notice the views on a video we released just over a month ago. A simple bad habit most riders make. Over 75,000 views and still gaining. Compare that to cone drills guaranteed to change your riding. It might get 20,000 views. Why is this? The truth is, I believe titles come down to tapping into a rider's ego. Everyone is afraid they have a bad habit. They need to make sure they aren't doing something wrong. On the other hand, I present a drill video that I believe is more valuable than that bad habit video. Although in the title of, again, in my opinion, the more valuable video, we mention cone drills. I believe there's almost a slight stigma behind cone drills. Most believe they're for beginner riders. So the majority of viewers see the title and believe they're sort of above these techniques. So they never even try. This line of thinking is exactly why you aren't progressing. Often in this sport, or in life for that matter, our ego leads us to believe we're at a higher level than we actually are. I know I've been guilty of this myself. My first AMA Endurocross in 2010, I literally thought I was going to win the amateur class. I didn't even make the main. I think I got last in my heat. That was a serious wake-up call for me. Instead of succumbing to our ego and just convincing yourself that you're the greatest of all time, use that same ego drive and become what you already believe you are. Although it's much easier said than done. The discipline in being comfortable in uncomfortable situations is something that can be learned. I know I have plenty of weaknesses on a motorcycle. My goal is to expose those weaknesses and develop them into my strengths. I have a long way to go, but I want you guys to go on the ride with me. Whether that outside comfort zone is riding more motocross or expanding on a discipline of racing I'm not comfortable with, My hope is to continue to develop my skills and hopefully pass a little bit of what I learned on to you guys. I hope this doesn't come off as preachy. It meant to be motivating and somewhat inspiring. The point is, I hope you guys put in the right seat time for your own progression. If you're enjoying the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as follow us on Instagram at IRC Moto and my personal Instagram page at RichLarson511. And until next time, keep shredding.